So trying to find the cross product of two vectors given u and v. So as you can see, I set up a 3x3 determinant where in the first row we have the unit vectors I, j, and k. In the second row we have the vector u. So you see it's 7i minus j. So it's 7 for the I, -1 for the j, and 0 for the k. And then for vector v in the last row, you see 0 because there's no I component, -7 because it's -7j, and 1k because it's just k. So now we're going to have to break this up into 3 different determinants. So starting with I. So what's going to be in the 2x2 determinant for I? Well, what you do is looking at I, starting from I, you cross down and across. And if you do that, so you put I here, what's left? You're left with -1, 0, -7, and 1. So let's do that. So I'm going to delete that, and we'll come back to that. And then the next step is you want to do the same thing with, but when you move from one determinant to the next, you do minus. You go with minus. So that means in the next determinant, oops, this should be a 7. Yes. The next determinant, what goes into the j, same thing. With j, we cross down and across. So we're left with 7, 0, 0, 1. So let me delete that. Oops. And then you have here -1. And then finally, because we alternate, so to go from I to j, we change signs to minus, and then to go from j to k, we're going to change signs again. So it's going to be plus. And to figure out what goes in the determinant of k, we cross k down and across. So that leaves us, as you can see, 7, -1, 0, -7. So 7, -1, 0, -7. So, and then the 2x2 determinant should be fairly straightforward. So let's see. For the first determinant, you're going to have, you multiply the first diagonal, so -1 times 1. So you multiply the first diagonal, and you subtract from this, you do minus the second diagonal. So -1 times 1, that's -1. And then -7 times 0. Minus -7 times 0, well, that's just -7 times 0 because stays 0. So you're just going to have -1. So -1, oops, -1 times I. Now let's move to the I component. So it's minus, and then what's the determinant? 7 times 1, which is 7. And -0 times 0, which is 0. And then times j. And then for the k, we have 7 times -7, that's -49. Minus 0 times -1, that's just 0. And then k. So really, now you have your final, the result of u cross v. U cross v will equal -I, and then minus 7j, and plus -49, so -49k. And there you have it. Thank you for watching.